Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Greg, your co-host of the Grilling to Get Away podcast. Here's my buddy.
Hey, what's happening, everyone? This is Ben.
Ben, we're back in the studio.
Yeah.
After 1 week away, I was in kind of central, I guess you could say, Wisconsin, for the 4th of July weekend, and or the week.
Whole week, yeah.
Whole week, yeah.
Whole week.
And finally back in the groove here now, Tuesday morning, and it's good to be back.
Yeah. Yeah, I took care of the business while you were gone.
I know. I saw our accounts were a little low.
Yep. Like I said, I took care of it. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
And
cash only.
Cash only. A lot of our products are here at your house, so I spent the night here a few times.
Oh, okay.
So I could get up and get an early start to the day. So I slept in your bed.
Hey, that's all right.
And made sure everything was going and
that's good.
Getting done what needed to get done.
It's good.
I didn't mow the lawn though. So.
I know. I saw that. So next time, please.
You can't afford me.
Yeah. No. It's. I know. No, but happy to be back. Happy to be back home. And happy to be talking to you about some of the cooks you did, man. Like we were just talking a little bit about it. You were getting after
man. Yeah. I don't know if I've ever quite cooked this much.
Ooh.
in I want to say like 4 to 5 day times,
Oh,
man.
No, I'm excited. I'm excited to talk to you about that. Hey, before we jump in though, it's Rib Fest week.
It's Rib Fest. Yeah.
In Elkhorn, Wisconsin. This will be our 4th year there.
It's like the 9th year that they've had it.
Yeah, I know. I thought it was
way
longer than that. Yeah.
than that. Like, cause I was looking it up and I was like, what do you, I don't know. Maybe numbers are hard.
I know. Yeah.
They
are. They are. But we'll be out there in Elkhorn from July 9th through the 12th. So this Wednesday through Sunday. And if you're going to be in the area, it's free to come in. Free to come in. And they got a bunch of kind of well-known, some local, some national barbecue places, joints, where you can go and buy stuff, obviously. They do have a community voting, too, so you can vote for whichever one you want.
Each day is, as we've learned, is only while supplies last.
Supplies last.
Yeah.
So you don't, like, brisket sells out. Ribs usually sell out.
Cornbread, beans.
Mac and cheese is pretty good out there. Mm-hmm. So we'll be out there. We'll be in our normal spot right in the entrance, so the main entrance and exit area. We'll have a booth set up, so if you need any supplies for your own cooking pleasures, swing by and see us. We'd love to talk with you. But I just want to make that plug real quick because we'll be out there, and then very quickly then we'll be turning around and heading back out to Wisconsin State Fair. So those are the two spots you can find us next if you just want to come out and see us, if you're going to be at those events, or you just want to chat.
Yeah, and State Fair kicks off, July 30th, 31st, something like that?
Thursday the 31st, and it runs for 11 days, I believe.
Yeah.
So it's a long one, Ben. It's a long one.
We'll be out there.
Enjoy it. It's great.
We'll be out there.
Love talking to people, coming out to see us. You were at Ducktona this past weekend. Any shout outs you want to give to anybody?
Oh, dude. Let's see. I had I don't know about shout outs. Yeah, no one really mentioned their name. They just said, "Hey, I only came to pick this up."
Nice.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming out.
But yeah, it was a good crowd. I spent most of the money we earned on the Ducks trying to win the race.
I thought it was going to be the nachos. The nachos usually get you.
Nachos.
I know you were right next to this, the roasted nuts.
The roasted nuts.
So
yep. They had a sign on their thing that said, "What's that smell?"
Yeah.
Why does this smell so good? It was like, "What's that smell?" Or "Why it smells so good?" And it was like, this booth.
This booth.
Like, well,
hey, we need to steal that idea.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Well, I'll talk to Greg about this.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
So.
Nice, man. Well, I'm glad you had a chance to get out there, too. It's been a couple of years since we've been out to Sheboygan Falls area.
Yeah, it got canceled last year.
Yeah, canceled last year.
And then it rained a lot
this year. A little bit rained this year. So kind of dampered the crowd a little bit, but it's always good to get out there around that area. But, yeah, man, so we were talking a little bit yesterday, and you were sharing your pork and your mac and cheese. So I'd love to chat with you a little bit about that.
That's what you want to talk about?
I don't like. What else did you do? What else did you do?
Oh, dude. All right. So that was my cousin's husband. He
Your
turned
cousin's
40.
husband.
Yeah.
Turned 40.
Turned 40, and
they're in Wisconsin here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. They're in Wisconsin. They're not too far. They're about like 45 minutes away.
No, that's not bad.
No, it's not too bad at all. So, So it's nice. It's nice that my mom comes from a big family and everyone lives kind of all over. She's pretty close, so we get to hang out with them every once in a while, which is awesome. And so she texted me saying like, hey, what would you make for like a party? And I was like, well, kind of depends like how many people are coming and all that, right? But I said I would probably go like pulled pork. Like,
okay. Yeah.
Cheap,
simple.
easy.
Yep.
Yeah. Can't really screw it up too bad, right? And it feeds a lot of people.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, she asked like, is this something that you could come over and cook at our house and start at like 3 o'clock and have it ready by 6. And I was like,
3 in the afternoon, right? Not 3 in the morning.
Yeah, show up. You said 3.
3.
You said 3. So I was
How
like,
long it takes?
yeah, I said pulled pork, man. Like it takes a bit, due to like, so I couldn't do it, but I can cook it like ahead of time and bring it.
Yeah, for sure.
And she was like, oh, cool, that'd be great. And then I asked, I was like, well, what else are you gonna have? Like, do you want any sides or anything? Like,
Look at you, just like, hey.
Yeah, I was like, we
helping them think through this.
Yeah, like you can do like beans, baked beans,
Pork
mac and
beans,
cheese, and then, like coleslaw.
Yeah.
And she said yes. I was like, oh, all right. Well,
Okay.
I'll twist my arm.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, dude. So it was like I was at the store getting all this stuff, and then I got it a few days before the 4th, and I was like, all right, well, what are we gonna make on the 4th? So then it just took off.
Yeah.
It just took off. Yeah. So we did some smash burgers.
Okay.
For the 4th, we did corn. I told you I was gonna do like those little those shrimp balls that had like the kind of the crab cakes on them, like in the cast iron. So I did those.
Man.
Yeah, dude. It was a solid cook that day, and then it was my son's birthday on Monday, yesterday, and he wanted wings, and when I was at the store, like they didn't have any wings.
Oh no!
So I got drumsticks.
Okay.
Which then becomes the whole thing, because then I peel the skin off, cut that off, and then fillet them open, like butterfly them.
Yep. I think we talked about that recently.
We've talked about it in the past, so like it tastes a little bit, right? And then he wanted like all this stuff, man. Like we were kind of like going through it, and I had to like kind of write down stuff that I was gonna be cooking like each day, so I kind of make sure I wasn't missing anything, or kind of keep track of stuff, right, dude? So,
he was like, your menu for the
right, week. Yeah. And so he wanted the wings, corn, baked beans, couscous, and waffle fries. I was like, dude,
that's feeding an army.
Yeah, right.
What are you doing?
So we didn't do all that.
Okay,
we didn't do all that. We kind of we toned it down a touch.
Okay,
but still, I did the corn and like the drumsticks, and then he's like, well, that's okay, Dad. We can do beans another night. Like, all right, buddy.
Yeah.
Great. So
good.
So yeah, man.
Okay. Well, all right, man. Well, let's talk about those shrimp balls or whatever, the lobster balls. What are they?
Yeah, I don't even know what you would call them. So like you take your shrimp, right, and then
so where did you find this recipe, or how did
I saw it? Like I saw a video of it.
Saw a video of
it.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, that's cool.
On the YouTube or
yeah.
Okay.
I was like, oh, and it was like through Weber.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, well, I could do that. It seemed pretty straightforward. Like you take your shrimp, right?
So these are some big shrimp.
They're good size. Like I just got them at like Aldi, man.
Are they cooked already?
Yeah, like I just got like the jumbo
shrimp
ones.
Okay.
And had to put a Cajun seasoning on there. So I made my own.
Nice.
Yep, solid. I never done Cajun before.
Okay. What did you put in it?
Man, let's see.
We get asked quite a bit if we have a Cajun seasoning.
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
So I'm interested to hear, because my wife was cleaning out the cabinet the other day. She's like, "We've got this Cajun seasoning that you made," like, because I wrote, it's one of those bottles where you save and you just write
sure.
it out. It's like, "Are you using this?" Yeah, I'm using it.
Yeah,
put it in my cabinet.
Hey.
So yeah, so what did you put in your Cajun seasoning?
All right, dude. So it has some salt, some pepper. I used a sweet paprika.
Yeah.
Just because, like, the two that I have is, I have the sweet one. I have more like a traditional, just regular paprika, and then like a smoked.
The smoked
paprika.
one, yeah.
But I was like, I'm gonna be putting it on the grill, so I don't really need this, right? So I went sweet, and then let's see what else I put in. Like a little cayenne, and then there's one other thing too.
Any garlic or anything? Onion?
I did some garlic powder, some onion powder, and then I think some thyme.
Okay. Thyme.
Yep. So it's pretty easy, man. Like it did.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward. And I, to be honest, man, I looked at I compared 2 recipes from 2 different books that I had.
Yeah.
And kind of took like the main things out of both of them,
and then just kind of made it your own.
One like kind of added some stuff to it. I was like, I don't need that. Like one was very basic, and then I did put in a little like white pepper.
Okay, yeah,
as well.
I love white pepper.
I do too, man.
It gives you a little bit of kick. It's a little different. That's awesome, man. So you made this Cajun seasoning. Then what do you do next?
I just put the shrimp in a bowl and
toss it out.
Toss it in.
Any binder or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
Just let it ride.
Let it.
Just moved them all around and
kind
stuff.
of dry rub a little bit on the shrimps. Do you keep the tails on?
Yeah, for this I did.
Okay.
Because it's like you're pulling them, you're grabbing them, and then
you're just biting them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then so you have to take for like the little balls that you put on top. It's like you use crab meat. And we had some, and I just kind of used like a food processor. Like they use like just crab meat out of the can. And so we had I gotten just like a bag of like the crab meat you can get,
like the imitation stuff.
Yeah. And I put that in the food processor, kind of just chopped it up real nice and fine. Basically the same thing, you know what I mean? We did that, and then some, it's like, what was it, mayo, obviously.
Of course, you gotta have that. Gotta stick together.
Gotta stick together. Like some eggs. You actually take like a whole sleeve of like Ritz crackers and like crush that up.
Okay.
So I put that in there too.
Kind of like some breadcrumbs or whatever.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. And then just some. I did some parsley and some. What else? Some lemon. I squeezed the lemon in there.
Yeah. I was gonna ask because usually like with the seafood and stuff like that, there's a little bit of lemon somewhere.
A little bit, yeah. And then I put more like the Cajun seasoning like in with that, into the sauce and they're into the balls and like mix it all up, and you just gotta take it out and you make these little like balls on it and just set it like on the shrimp, and then I just put it in a cast iron.
Okay.
And then squeeze another lemon like on top of it.
So
actually, I left
just
lemons
lay
in there.
Flat on the cast iron, and then you put the ball on top of it, like the shrimp flat.
You put it so like the tail up.
The tail's up, so it's standing up.
So it just like it goes like around like that.
So you had that many shrimp that you did it with?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot of shrimp.
Yeah, man. I took a picture of it. It was pretty cool. It was a good time. It was a solid cook. It wasn't too long. Yeah. See, they're all just standing up in there in the cast iron like that.
Huh. That's a lot of shrimp, man.
Yeah. I mean, that was one bag.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. That looks good.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. And did you dip it in anything after you guys were done?
Man, so it called for like doing a like a cowboy butter.
Yeah.
And that was just like kind of some butter, some mayonnaise, some like Dijon mustard. I put some red pepper flakes in there. I put a little bit more of the Cajun seasoning in there. And some lemon zest, stuff like that. And then you just kind of like you pull them and you just drizzle along the top and stuff.
And you did that?
Yeah.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
So I mean, like it probably didn't take long, did it? Because like the shrimp is probably pre-cooked already. The crab meat doesn't really need to cook, you know.
So like when I was watching, the guy he had I don't know, some kind of like electric Weber.
Yeah. And
he turned it up to like 420 or something.
Really?
Like that.
Wow.
And he cooked them for like 12 minutes. I was like, well, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So that seemed like it was pretty hot and pretty long. Like,
yeah.
I didn't do that. I kept it around like 3 to 325, and I let him go for about like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah. So not long.
And checked on like kind of after 10 and just was looking more like I was more worried, honestly, man, like to make sure like the balls were kind of cooked and stuff, right? Like because I was like the raw egg and, and stuff, and so that's where my head went.
Sure.
So I kind of just kept testing like the balls to make sure that they were starting to firm up and all that. So, it was good, dude.
Yeah, it sounds good.
It's easy, not too bad.
Shrimp, crab, mayo,
delicious.
Can't go wrong.
Butter, yeah.
Butter, lemon, yeah. Oh man, that does sound good.
Yeah.
Is that like a do again? Scale 1 to 10. 10 being like, oh man, yeah, for sure. 1 being like, yeah, maybe.
I'd probably do them again. Like if like my parents were in town or something like that, right? Like for a party,
small party or something.
Just
like that.
like
something different.
Yeah, if we're having like people over or something, if it was like kind of probably just us, no. But yeah, I mean, I'd probably change like a few things. I made the balls kind of like a little too big.
Oh yeah.
So it's like,
really,
oh my god. So kind of like it overpowers like the shrimp a little bit and stuff. So I would have done them a little smaller and stuff.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't know. It was solid. It was like I said, it wasn't too bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Well, it sounds good, man.
They're probably about a 7.
Okay, 7. Nice. Solid. Solid.
Mm-hmm. Six
You
and
can
a
almost do
half.
some like crabby patties with those, man.
You could.
Yeah. Instead of like putting them in a shrimp, just make some patties out of them.
Well, that's like, I was like, oh, crab cakes. That's pretty cool. And then you just kind of do like put it on the shrimp.
But yeah.
Delicious.
For sure. Well, good, man. I'm glad that one worked out for you. I know you're experimenting a little bit with that one.
Mm-hmm.
But then your mac and cheese for the 4th of July party was a big hit, huh?
Yeah, people crushed it.
Yeah,
they crushed it, which was cool. I mean,
yeah. So and that's we've talked about smoked mac and cheese before, and that's one of the things that like when we go to events and things like that. I forget who I was talking to, but he said like one of the biggest questions he gets from people like who want to learn how to barbecue is like, how do I make smoked mac and cheese? You know, he was like, well, I would have thought it would have been brisket or ribs, but like a lot of people want to know how to smoke mac and cheese, right?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
So, tell me more about this one that you did over the 4th.
Yeah, man. So, so this is one I did it for the party. So it's like I cooked the pulled pork on Wednesday.
Okay.
Or Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
It's Thursday. The party was Saturday. So it's like, dude, I had a ton of our fridge was packed.
Yeah.
I almost had to come over and use your fridge, you know?
It was open because we cleared it out.
I know. I trust. I know. I looked.
Yeah, you did. I'm sure. Yeah. Well, we got to clean this out. Ben's going to be stopping over here. I'm sure there's nothing left here.
Yeah. I went through the freezer too for you.
Yeah, okay. There's some venison in there.
No, not anymore.
Oh, okay.
No, man. Yeah, so like, fridge was stacked.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like, I'm cooking for this party and stuff. So like the mac and cheese I didn't do until like the day of. And same thing with like the baked beans and the coleslaw. So it's like Saturday, man. Like I wake up and I'm just like cooking like right away.
Yeah.
Like getting stuff going. And it was a lot, Greg. It was a lot. I was like, so would you ever want to do catering? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I guess it'd be different. Like,
yeah, we kind of go back and forth with that. You've done small events like this before, where people ask us to do stuff.
Yeah.
Don't mind cooking for family and friends and stuff.
Yeah.
Now it's when you're going to the business side of things, like we like to help people do it themselves.
Yeah.
Versus us actually doing it. But continue.
And like, dude, so you've done the pulled pork and stuff, right?
Yeah.
For like the church and stuff.
Yeah.
You've done like two butts at a time, right?
Yep.
Like, man, dude, I'll tell you what, like, I had both grills going. It was like, I was sitting there like, man, I was smiling. You could even see my teeth.
Yeah. Wow.
Look at this. It was the best thing ever.
So which grills did you use?
Man, so I used the Weber. The kettle.
The kettle?
Yep. Yep. And then
you can only fit one on there, right?
Yeah. And same thing with the Huntsman, the Spider grill.
The Spider, ooh.
Yeah, I went with the Spider too.
So I'm interested to hear because you did it both. Did you set them up both the same way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just did indirect, man. I was thinking about doing the snake. I just went indirect.
Okay.
Because I was like, well, I'm here, I'm home, I'm not really like leaving, kind of packing stuff up, getting ready for like that, getting ready for like Daytona, like making sure we had everything, and getting ready for the 4th. It's just like, because I think we stopped over on Thursday real quick. I was like kind of packing the car up, so we got everything, from your house that we needed and all that jazz, right? So, yeah, dude. So for the mac and cheese, man, like it was pretty easy. Like I just boiled the noodles. Because I've heard people that just do that straight, just on, like all of it, even all like the shells, like on the. And I didn't do that.
Yeah, I usually boil the noodles on the stove or whatever, and then pour them in a tin pan or something like that before I put my topping and cheesy sauce in there. Yeah,
so like while the noodles are boiling, dude, I just started doing the sauce. Sauce is pretty simple. Like I use, I follow like one of Rodney Scott's recipes.
Yeah,
and he uses cream of chicken soup in there.
And
and it's like it's got some like whole milk, like or whipping cream, and so it's both. It's like whole milk and whipping cream.
Yeah.
I didn't use the whole milk.
Okay.
I just used the whipping cream.
Yeah.
I was like, this is good enough, and I'll just put kind of a little bit of regular milk in. It depends on like how creamy you want it to be, right? and then you kind of heat that up with the soup and stuff, and then like I just seasoned it with pop smoke and a little bit of pepper.
Yeah.
Kept it super simple. I'd take that back. I'd put a little bit of our ground pounder in there as well. Just kind of give it like that nice little hint of garlic and stuff. I did hear, man, I was talking to one guy, completely separate from like this, but like at another event.
Mm-hmm.
But man, dude, he said he uses like cream of jalapeno.
Yeah. I've seen that quite a bit.
I like that.
Matt Pittman from Meat Church, he uses cream of jalapeno quite a bit. So in some of his stuff. So
nice.
I want to see if we put this recipe out there because we talked about this before.
I'm pretty sure I've sent it to you.
Yeah, and I think I made a recipe and put it out on the website. I just want to make sure it's out there.
If not, dude, I'll send it to you.
Smoked mac
again.
and cheese recipe. Here we go. I think this is the one. I want to make sure it's. Yeah, it's got the condensed cream of chicken soup in there. So.
Does that have beer in it too?
I didn't put beer in it, but
did you do one with cream of chicken soup?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yep, I did that. I got a video out there too, so
nice.
You can take a look at it. Yeah, I think we put it out there. So it's at on the website if you want to take a look at that one. It's a little bit different from how you did it, but it's got the same kind of core. So if people wanted to put beer in it or change any seasonings or whatever. It's really good. So just burnpitbbq.com and just search smoked mac and cheese recipe. There's a few out there, but that's the one we're talking about here.
Yeah. So like towards the end, drop some of the cheese in there, right? And just kind of, it all depends. Like I used a little bit of pepper jack, but mostly sharp cheddar.
Yeah.
When you do yours, what's your kind of cheese go to for?
I keep it pretty like cheddar.
Yeah.
Sharp cheddar. I don't really stray too much from that. I've used Gruyere.
Oh, have you really?
Yeah.
Man, look at you.
Yeah. So I got that recipe out there too using that one. That one, like I brought 2 pans to a family Christmas a couple years ago, and both were gone.
Yeah.
The Gruyere cheese, it's got a little bit more of I don't want to say greasy, but it's a little bit more of a. It's hard to. It's a different texture than just regular cheese.
What made you pick that? Because of
it was
the texture?
I found it from a different recipe, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this one. It was so that one's it's called Game Changing Mac and Cheese. It's actually got bacon in there. It's got some sharp cheddar cheese, Dijon. Maybe that's not the one. Some cream cheese in there.
There you go.
Yeah. So we got a couple of recipes out there for smoked mac and cheese, but yeah, I've used Gruyere cheese on, and it's just different, It gives it a little bit different texture. I think a little bit more savory as well.
Okay.
But yeah, just different.
Yeah, man. Then I added, like I said, pop the cheese in there. Let everyone get to know each other in there, and then I added like a little bit of beer at the end.
Yeah.
I did like half a can, and it was awesome.
Nice.
So like, it becomes like a beer cheese, Like obviously in Wisconsin, that's pretty huge.
Yeah.
Like beer cheese is like
you go with this like a light, or do you go with like an IPA or a lager or anything like that?
You can. You can. I didn't. I just had Coors.
Yeah.
So that's what I went with. I was like, all right, well,
put taste of the mountains. Huh?
Yeah. Mountains are blue, except for like when I'm kind of cooking like that. I don't. I like to take it out and get it to room temperature, so it doesn't kind of mess with everything, I guess.
That's funny that you say that. Because we were talking about pulled pork, I saw this. I guess you could call it tip. So like if you store your barbecue sauce in the refrigerator, like some people don't like to put cold sauce onto like pulled pork, if they're making it, So one of these tips some lady had was like you just get like a coffee mug and you put some hot water in there and then you put the bottle in there or whatever.
Okay.
So to warm it up before you pour it in. I thought that was interesting because you don't want to pour cold sauce into like a warm thing.
Yeah.
So kind of similar to what you're talking about. And then also,
it's very considerate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like so like, Killer Hogs has their like raspberry chipotle like sauce.
Ooh, okay. Have you had that?
I haven't. No,
I haven't either.
But somebody was kind of, I don't want to say complaining, but they're just saying like when you put it in the refrigerator after a while, like it crystallizes. So like it's very hard to use. So, and the people from Killer Hogs just replied to him and said, hey, it's got some of those, sugar crystals or whatever in it. So it makes it harder, like once it's colder. So like they recommended just that similar thing, like put it in warm water, or let it sit out for a little while to get up to room temperature before you use it again. Otherwise, it's going to be hard to use. You know what I mean? So, just so there you go. There's a sauce tip for you. You know. And we got some of those crazy people that come up to us and talk to us about, well, you don't really need to keep sauce in a refrigerator. Just keep it in your cabinet. I was like, well, to each his own.
Yeah, we did. I'm trying to remember. It's not like the Racine County Fair, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like, sauce, you should never put sauce in the refrigerator.
It keeps ketchup and everything. It just tastes different. Tastes different when it's in the fridge versus when it's in the cabinet. I can taste the difference.
I bet. That's bacteria. No, I don't know. I don't think we've really looked into the science behind that. But if the bottle says keep refrigerated after opening, we'll probably use that as a good gauge.
That's my go-to. Yeah. So you tend to keep it in the fridge, Greg. You know, smart.
But if you need to warm it up a little bit, make it easier to use, there's a tip for you. But anyways, man, so people crushed your mac and cheese at the party.
Yeah.
Said it was the best they ever had.
Yeah, I mean, the kids were eating it and stuff. Like, even like my wife too. She's like, hey, we had to leave. We didn't stay too late because we ducked home the next day and stuff. And she goes, man, we'll probably have to make mac and cheese in the next week or two. Again. It's like, well, okay.
Didn't get your fill, huh? Gotta get some more.
Gotta get some more.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. Even for that too, like I always get kind of nervous with that stuff. Like having it too smoky. And
what kind of wood did you use again?
I use the Jack Daniel's strips.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's got lighter. It's a lighter.
It does.
One. Yeah.
It does. So like I just didn't want, how sometimes like that, just pick it up in so much. Man, you would have died. When I was doing the beans, I did 4 cans in the one tin pan.
Like 4 big cans,
just
12,
just like the regular size, whatever it is. But dude, it was just like the party that week.
Yeah,
it was like right to the top, right? And
did you bring these to the party too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I kind of doctored these up too, right? Like I put a little QRF in there.
Oh yeah.
Some of our bold traditional style barbecue sauce, and then I put some sweet heat in it too.
Yeah. Dude, I did that same. So the 4th of July, man,
right?
like we did some burgers and then some baked beans, and I put them on the grill in the cast iron, and I put some fire for effect in there, some sweet heat. Yeah.
It changed it, right? Like and like I didn't do anything special, man. Like these were just Bush's baked beans. One can I did kind of drain, so it wasn't so soupy with all of them. Well, because I wanted to add our own sauce to it as well. So
smart.
Yeah, thank you. Good thing I did that.
Yeah.
So
to the top.
So Greg, like, man, I'm going to I'm moving them around on the grill and stuff, and I'm like looking and stuff. I'm like, man, this is pretty full. This is pretty full.
Gotta get a bigger tin next time.
Well, yeah.
Get a turkey size one.
I know, that's what I should have done. And dude, so I gotta take this over to their house, right?
Yeah.
And my thought process was like, all right, well, I'm taking the pulled pork cold, and we'll heat that up over there. Like that's fine. The coleslaw is gonna be cold, and that's fine. But I don't really want to have to reheat the mac and cheese and the beans.
Yeah.
So I put them down in a cooler, and I covered them in tin foil and stuff.
Yeah.
But this cooler is only so wide.
Sure.
Right. So it's I don't really want to put the mac and cheese on top of the beans.
Yeah.
Because I was afraid that it would all just the mac and cheese is going to start to settle into the other one.
Yeah, because mac and cheese is a little bit heavier than
right. But I didn't want to put the beans on top of the mac and cheese because if the beans spilled because of how full it was, you're gonna have beans in your mac and cheese. It's a whole conundrum, but I figured it out.
You figured it out good.
I took so I put
a plywood thing down or something.
I put a cutting board down.
Yeah, okay.
Put a cutting board down, man. So
there we
always thinking. Man. But I put a towel down in there.
Yeah.
And wrapped them both up so
warm.
They stayed warm.
Yeah.
Serve them warm.
Look at you.
And
they were a big hit, huh?
Yeah, you should have seen me carrying this thing
don't touch me.
Hands of a surgeon. don't.
Just sweating. Don't drop it, you idiot.
Yeah. Of course, where they live too. It's all these hills. Get up there. I'm like, oh no. All I'm thinking about was the beans
in the bag.
But I put tin foil all around it. But you know how well that works.
Yeah,
sometimes it's what can you do?
All right. Well, that's good, man. I'm glad it worked out for you.
Yeah, it's been like just solid cooks.
Yeah.
Just long solid cooks, man. The pork went, it's like 10 hours.
Yeah.
That's like the longest cook I've done in a while.
Right.
I think. Like just solid 10 hours. I mean,
does your Spider, the Huntsman, have grates that flip up so you can replenish it?
Yeah.
Just like the Weber does?
It does, yeah. So I mean, it's almost like the grates are like cut in half. Like I'll have to show it to you sometime. Okay. You still haven't come over to see it yet. But you can kind of just lift it and like replenish. That's why I just did indirect. But then it has like a door that you can open in the front too, and you can toss stuff in that way.
Okay.
So yeah, man. I mean, both grills were solid. I mean, they were right around like 250, 275.
Nice.
And I just let them
and both hunks of meat were kind of even when it came to like when they were done.
Yeah,
man, that's the best.
Yeah, the Weber went a little bit quicker. Yeah, that one went a little bit faster, but man, even like I pulled it and just threw it in the cooler and let it rest.
Nice.
And I was like, all right, cool.
Here we go.
Let the other one keep going, and when that one's done, like I'll pull that one out and start shredding and let that one rest. So yeah, man.
Man, it was solid.
Yeah, solid cooks. I did cross hatches on them.
Okay.
And then used Fire Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet heat. I mean, it's fantastic with the pork.
Yep.
And it's not super spicy, you know. And
No.
then I used cherry Dr. Pepper to kind of spritz throughout. And then when I put it in the pan, I put a little down in there as well.
Yeah, I know a lot of people like the cherry Coke or the cherry Dr. Pepper or something like that.
I will tell you this too, man. When I went to take it to the house, like to reheat it and stuff, we reheated it like on the grill that they have. He's got a master built out there, and he has
like a gravity fed one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. And it's like kind of right in there and stuff. And they had another like family friend there, and they were doing burgers for this, and he was cooking some of the burgers like right on top of where you like feed the. I was like, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's got to be hot, I guess. Yeah, so it was interesting. I hadn't really seen any of those kind of really up close, right? So, you just kind of put whatever you're using like in that box and light it up.
It's charcoal, right?
Yeah. I think I'm trying to remember. They were using lump.
Okay.
Kind of some lump charcoal and stuff. Threw some hickory chunks in there and stuff too. And
nice.
Yeah, it was just like, all right, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Worked out great. Reheated it up out there and stuff, and I did. So I had them all in the tin pans. I put a little bit more of the Dr. Pepper down in there. So and then kind of seasoned it a little bit more. But yeah, dude. I mean, I shred it all by hand. I don't know. They typically, do you use your meat claws when you're shredding it and stuff?
Yep.
So I went by hand, and I had people ask like, how do you get it so fine? Like, well, I just grab it.
I mean,
it's just ripping.
When you do it that long, it just melts like almost when you grab it. It's like butter, right?
Yeah, just pull the bone.
And I know like a lot of people that then you just use the bone and chop it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, nice. So, I like that.
Just pull the bone out and then just use that as what they use to chop it up. Or some people just use like a knife. You know, like a big butcher knife and
just go at it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's really fine stuff. But do you like it longer? Or do you like it kind of chopped up a little bit?
I kind of go about medium, I'd say. Somewhere in between.
Yeah.
Like if someone was long, I'm not like too worried about it and stuff. Like
just kind of
just
get it done. Just shred it up.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Just let it ride.
Now, do you keep like the fat in there and stuff? Like some of like the fat caps, they kind of stay together a little bit, so you get like these fatty pockets in there.
If I find them, I'll pull them out and stuff.
But otherwise,
sure to pull them. Yeah, I mean, I didn't really. There wasn't a hole. It wasn't too thick. So I didn't really trim down.
Got it.
Too much. I thought it was fine. But I did find some of those pockets like you talked about, and I did pull those out because
I don't mind them. Like I'll sneak them. I'll take it. Like
sure.
This is the best part. But no, that's good, man. I'm glad it worked out for you. And we do have like a lot of these recipes and like a lot of different recipes. Like so, if you're looking for a pulled pork recipe, go out to our website burnpitbbq.com, type in pulled pork, and we got a few out there. Same with mac and cheese. So yeah, and baked beans. I think we got a recipe out there as well. So
yeah, I mean, there's. You can Dr. Baked beans up so easy, man.
Yeah, and it, just so simple, and it just adds like a layer of flavor to it. It's
like
kind of hard. It's like one of those things. It's hard to mess up. You know what I mean?
And you don't even like there's times too, man. I've talked about this, but like I'll just take the can, open the can up, cut the paper off, and just
put it right on the top of the.
Let that smoke.
Yep, for sure.
Right, like let that go for at least a half hour and
stir it up a little bit. And then,
catch some of the smoke and stuff in there. It's just, and that is even better than just doing it on the stove. So there's beans they can be as easy as you want them to be, or you can spice them up a touch and like add your own little flair into it, man. I like to do them. I think they're easy. They're fun. They're solid. It's a great thing. It's if you're doing like a party, hosting, like we talked about. No, man. Just put them in a big tin pan. I think I put the one out there. Right? He's like peaches in it or something. Remember that one?
Yep.
It was all right. I'm trying to think. I think that was that might have been a Myron
Mixon, I think, was that recipe.
Yeah. I mean, like, dude, there's so many things you can do with baked beans and stuff. And same thing with the mac and cheese. I mean, you can use whatever cheese you want. You can add, spice to it. You can add flavor to it. You can add beer to it, like whatever. Like, so, like Greg said too, like, man, we've got the recipes out there, and feel free to just kind of put your own little flair in it, and then send it our way. Like, we'd love to hear about it.
If you got like a go-to recipe that you have for mac and cheese or pulled pork or just anything cool, man, let us know about it. We're always trying stuff out, as listen to Ben here making crab balls and shrimp. Good, man. Well, are you planning anything this week?
Oh, dude, I don't know, man. So we leave.
We got Rib Fest.
We'll
be probably tasting some stuff.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope so.
We're smelling it for sure.
That's for sure.
It always smells so good out there.
Yeah, I don't know. Nothing. I'll probably kind of take a little bit of a break.
Yeah,
I guess.
Take a little rest.
Yeah, because it's been a lot, which is awesome. Like I said, I can't complain about it and stuff. So, I say 4th of July is like a big grill weekend, and let me tell you,
is.
Oof, made sure and lived up to the expectation.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm just looking at some of the pro pit masters that are going to be out there at Rib Fest here. So some ones that we know that we've kind of tried in before that are pretty good. Locally, Mr. Greens will be out there. Slow Motion BBQ will be out there. Just north of Memphis is one of the ones that usually does pretty well with like the fan voting. Carolina Rib King, Big Show BBQ, Awesome Aussie. So yeah, there's like 15 or so like big stands that will be out there.
Can't miss them.
Yeah, you can't miss them. So go out there, try them out. If you're gonna be there, stop by, say hi. Love to see you. Love to talk to you. But otherwise, man, that's all I got.
Sounds good.
Solid, man. Solid cooks.
Solid cooks, man. Yeah, solid cooks. And
nice.
Are you, now that you're back, you had some time on a gas grill?
Yeah.
Are you in the market to buy one?
No, man. No. I don't know. Okay. It did its job, man. After I spent 2 hours cleaning it, it was good, and then it was just, I can use a gas grill. I would prefer just to use charcoal.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's easy. I was able just to start it up right away. It heats up right away, obviously, because of propane. I just like a little bit of the art of the charcoal.
Yeah.
The smell too, man. Like you don't get the same smells as you're kind of making, and even like you don't get the same type of flavor too.
Right.
So I mean,
did you do any wood chips like in? I
did. So I tried doing some hickory wood chips in like a pouch. So like we've talked about before, and like I think we've shared before, like trying to smoke on a gas grill. So this is a 2-burner, and so I made a pouch of. I soaked some hickory wood chips. I put them in this tinfoil pouch, stabbed it with holes, put it over the back corner, and just let it see what it did. I didn't really see much smoke coming from it. So I left it on there for when we did the chicken, and then I left it on there for when I did the burgers. So I didn't notice much difference. So obviously I don't experiment much with it. So it was my first time doing it in a long time.
Sure.
So did it add some flavor? I don't know. But I tried it, and didn't work out the way that I'd wanted it. But again, like food turned out fine. I was able to cook the burgers on the 4th of July on it, did the baked beans in the cast iron on it.
Do you think it was because like you soaked the wood chips? Like if you hadn't soaked them, maybe?
Well, the second time, so when I did the burgers, they were dry.
Yeah.
So I didn't notice any difference, and they were on there for a while, so
Yeah.
like it wasn't like a quick cook because we only had two burners and we were cooking 20 patties, so I had to rotate.
Sure.
Plus I had the beans on there, so like it was on there for close to a half hour,
Mhm.
and I didn't see really any smoke coming out of it, but yeah, so the burgers were fine, like,
Mhm.
but you just don't get like the same char over a propane fire as you do in my opinion, from like a charcoal fire.
That's fair, man.
So I left them right over the fire. Grease was dripping down. I could see it, and like flare ups were coming, but like I really never got char on them. It was weird.
Okay. How hot did you have it?
Medium heat. Like
Okay.
I didn't have like a gauge
Sure.
there or anything.
Right, but
It didn't have anything on there either. But
okay.
so like it was hot enough to cook the burgers, man.
Did you like the hand test?
Yeah. So medium heat. Medium to high.
Okay.
And I just put them as I was pulling them off. They had a crock pot there, so I put a little bit of IPA at the bottom of it, some beer, then started just putting the patties in there.
Nice.
So kept them nice and moist.
Nice. Yeah.
But that's what I had.
There you go, man.
All right, man.
Did you do hot dogs at all?
I didn't do any hot dogs or brats. No.
Okay.
Nope. They had a menu already kind of mapped out. So
You just helped cook, huh?
Yep.
Did the boys do the fish?
They didn't.
Okay.
They didn't.
All right.
The boys caught a bunch of sunfish, smaller perch. They filleted them up, they froze them, and then they defrosted them, but they never got around to cooking them. So
What? They froze them and then defrosted them and never cooked them, huh?
yeah, so I didn't ask questions. I was
No,
like, but they did like we did like spaghetti and meat sauce midweek, and they helped cook that. So
Okay.
yeah, so everybody had a hand in cooking for the week. So and then Everett helped me with the burgers. So
Nice.
he manned the grill for the burgers. So
Nice. So, man, I got a question for you.
yeah,
Maybe the last one, I guess. But
Sure.
So if you owned an Airbnb, right?
mm-hmm.
What kind of a grill would you put out there?
Charcoal.
Okay.
Because we have stayed in Airbnbs before that had charcoal grills.
Okay.
Yep. So we did one a few years ago. They had I think they had two charcoal grills, which is great.
What, like 2 Webers? Like
Yeah.
kettles?
Yeah,
Nice.
kettles.
Okay.
So yeah, I that's what I would do, man. Because when I think about camping and stuff like that, like cabins, camping, charcoal, man. And if you do have a gas grill, man, clean it. They charge you like $300-$400 for cleaning fees, like cleaning services. That should include the grill, in my opinion.
Okay. I'll write that down.
I'll write that down. Give that feedback.
Okay.
Yeah,
There you have it.
there's my 2 cents.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. Good to
Yep.
have you back, man.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it.
It's,
Good to be back. Here.
yeah.
Let's get back in the saddle here.
Yeah. Back to it. So, like Greg said, we'll be out at Alcorn. Please come.
Very fast.
Yeah.
See us.
Come stop by.
Tell
say
your
hi.
friends.
Yeah. Love to talk barbecue with everyone.
All right, man. That was
All right.
it.
Sounds good. Take it easy.
Cheers.